Hello, beautiful people. Today let's discuss the Palace Council changes. So first we're gonna start with the power increase. So as we can see, here we have Fulmar, a pretty amazing card with pretty great abilities. But actually, to make the Fulmar shine bright, actually you need a combo. So by itself, as you can see, for 12 points of provision, you're getting 7 points. Plus, additionally, you can play Tears of Siren, which gives you only 4 points of damages, so that's 11. And then you are spawning a defending Siren, which is 3 points, so that's altogether 7 plus 4, it's 11. 11 plus 3, it's 14, so 14 for 12. But then you can replace on enemy row a rain with the storm, and that's pretty good. But the thing is that our card cannot be destroyed or locked, so this is pretty important. And then if it survives the first round, then in the next one actually it gives you a huge amount of points. And especially if you're gonna play it with Ryogin, then it means that you will get additionally even more points. Lord Riptide, I would say that this change wasn't needed. Actually, at 9 plus this 9 plus this 2 armor, I would say that was more than enough. Lord Riptide was basically in every single deck. Right now, with 10 points of power and 9 points of provision, it will be included in every single deck. Also, what it gives to us, that it creates might. So this is another card that makes the deck with Ogroid much easier to play, and much easier to get this 10 points in one row. Roach, I would say that's the way it should be. Roach should stay at 4 points of power. Regarding the provision, maybe the change was like that's what they meant, that they wanted to change the strength from 4 to 3, but at the same time then change it to 8, and maybe the Nickers would go to 7, so that would be okay. And the Nickers would have 2 points of power or something like this. I don't know what was the situation standing behind this, but I would say that right now with 9, 4, it's okay, and that's the way it should stay. Set it, yes, this is a good change. Actually set it with 6 points of power and 7 points of provision. That was pretty weak. So Oaks, actually this is completely fine, and this is a very strong card if you're gonna think about it. But Serit definitely needed the buff. The same goes with Leto. Then we have Blue Stripes Commando. I think this is a pretty good change. So right now we have 5 and 6. It's still if you have them in one row, that gives you 45 points, which is absolutely amazing. Temarian Drummer, finally, I was also voting for this card because I think it was like completely forgotten. So finally we will see this card more often. Then Plumard, also a very good change. I was also opting for this card a few seasons ago, and I was voting for this card to be changed, so finally we have the Plumard at 5 points of power. Then Watcher of the Valley, also forgotten card. Right now it will be much stronger. Also for some other cards that you can create elf, it will be also better. I'm not sure if you can create this one from the Plan B, but maybe it's also possible, so also for Plan B it will be better. Beggar, definitely a very good change. This card was begging for a buff, so finally we have it 4 plus 4. This combo, once these cards are bonded, this is pretty amazing, but obviously you can only play that kind of a card in specific decks, not in every single syndicated deck it's needed. Then Bricket, so it seems like once again somebody's voting for elves, and elves they are getting strong. And what is the best is that obviously you can change the power of this token by utilizing some of the gold cards, and then it can have even, let me say, easily 6 points. So you can imagine that 4 plus the 6, it can give you 10 for 4. So that card, I think it will be included in every single deck, not only with traps, but also with the other decks. Then we have the power decrease tier, 1 less point. I would say maybe it's a good change because tier was in every single deck, but it seems like somebody really doesn't like raids, and this is basically created only in order to destroy raids, and they are getting nerfed all the time. And I don't think that rates they are problematic. I would say that regarding rates, they are very weak, to be honest with you. They are below average, so I don't think that this change was needed. Svalbard, I think this card will be completely forgotten, to be honest with you, because right now with 13 points of provision and only 7 points of power, people they will stop playing this card, or maybe it will go to 12, and then once again it will be reborn and it will be present in every single deck. That of course it can create something. Kraken, definitely this card needed this buff. I was also voting for this card a few seasons ago to get to 3, so finally we got it. I think this is a good change. King Foltes, I don't know what was the reason standing behind this. I would say that 4 it's not enough. It needs a protection. So you always need to play a defender with King Foltes, and right now with 4 points of power I think it's pretty weak, so I don't agree with this change. Living Armor, it's okay because it doesn't change anything. Master of Ceremonies, another change that is completely, I would say, hard to explain. There's no point of killing totally a whole archetype, and somebody doesn't like cultists at all, and actually I'm a big fan of this archetype. Regarding Nilfgaard, this is my favorite one. So basically, they are killing the only archetype from Nilfgaard that I like to play. And I don't think this is needed. I know it can, the cultists they can create crazy point, but you need a huge setup. And basically, in 50% of the games, you have no chances to do any kind of a setup due to the fact that there is so much control in the game right now that without the setup, you cannot do anything with cultists. So unfortunately, I don't think this is a good change. Asira, yes, I agree completely with this one, because at 6 that was just ridiculously. With 6, it was like in every single deck. Definitely this card it needed a nerf, so at least this right now has changed. Then we have Nausicaa, so every month story. I would say that regarding the power decrease, they are more important cards. But what I would do, I would just finally stop creating this situation in which this card is being changed every month, and I would definitely focus on something different. So for me, it makes absolutely no sense. Internal eclipse, just like I mentioned before, somebody doesn't like cultists, so a card that was with 4 points of power and 4 points of provision, right now it has been changed to 3 points of power and 5 points of provision, which is pretty, I would say, dramatic. So I think we will not see any cultists this season. Solano Harpy, actually I don't agree with this change because this card is pretty slow, and even with the combos it doesn't create that much value. I would say definitely it would be so much better if it stayed at 5, and that was actually the sweet point. 5 plus this 4 plus obviously because it had to stay on board to create this Harpy egg, and anyway all the guys who've seen this card automatically they were attacking and destroying this card, so I would say that this change is completely without any kind of a sense. Then we have power provision increase. Once again, I don't agree. I think Renfrey should be at 14. This is definitely too high. 15 makes absolutely no sense. It's just because some guys they don't like Renfrey at all, and that's why they try to create this situation in which she will not be present in the game, but I think this is an overspill with this 15 points of provision. Art Fein, I think there are more important cards in this spying decks, especially with poisons. That wasn't that problematic, I would say. Definitely there are different cards that need a nerf. Henry, also, I agree completely with this change. 12 points of provision, that's exactly where this card should be at. I was voting to nerf this card, but with the power, with provision, it's even better, so I completely agree with this change. Young Calvate, also, it should stay like this. 7 and 11, this is the perfect sweet spot for this card. Then we have Convent of Steel. I completely don't agree with all the changes that were done with the defenders. I think 9 was perfect for all of them. 10 it's definitely an overspill, and it seems like somebody doesn't like also mem decks, and that's why they try to kill this and this ability with defending your units. So I think that it's too much. Frog mating season, I don't think that this card was that problematic. I would say that 7 was perfect. 8 it's a little bit too much. We will not see frog mating season that often. Then we have River Hunters first card, which is a bronze card with 7 points of provision. It's too much, so we will not see Hunters anymore that's for sure. And this is a complete overspill, so I think what is going to happen, it will change once again to 6, but maybe it will be 1, or then maybe it will change to 3 points of power, and it will remain at 7, but definitely some people who enjoy playing reverse, they will change this card. Slave driver, perfect. Please just leave this card alone the way it is right now. 3 and 6, that's perfect. It shouldn't be changed in any kind of a way. Not regarding power. Also, the same goes with provision. Highland Warlord. Just like I mentioned before, somebody really doesn't like raids, and that's why this is one of these cards that is being changed every month, just like for instance Nausicaa Sergeant and also the Slave Driver. And I think this is too expensive. It should be at 5, and that's perfect because the raids they are not problematic at all, to be honest with you, and it's very difficult right now to win anything with raids. Megascope, this will be changed next month, so it was like one of these votes that was completely wasted, because at 5 this is definitely too expensive, and this is also like against all this concept that you can play some kind of a mem decks. Actually, I enjoy playing Megascope, especially with Idaran, and in many of my decks I include this card, but this is completely an overspill because it creates such a slow tempo that with even 4, sometimes you need to think twice. Do you want to include this card or no? But with 5, this card will be completely forgotten, and definitely it will be not played at all. Provision decrease, Vilgefortz. About this one, I'm pretty neutral. I don't know what to think about it because it depends. It seems like it's not that bad, but on the other hand, if you think about all this, you know, decks with, let me say, some kind of a scenario that you can insert, and you can swap the cards, or maybe with some other cards, like what is it called? This card I forgot completely because I never played this. The last time I created a deck with this card, it was pretty long time ago, to be honest with you. And the faction Nilfgaard, where is it at? Nilfgaard, and then we have yeah, Tibor. That's the card. So that was usually used for Tibor spam. I don't know. I don't like playing against that kind of a deck because it's just killing the game, and you are defending from round 1, and you need to be careful with what you're doing. So I would say this card doesn't need it above. Raven and Kimbold, completely forgotten card. I was also voting for this card because it was not being played at all, so maybe right now we'll see this card more often. Morvold, kind of neutral because at 13 it's okay, at 12 of course this is a huge difference for this card, but we will just see Morvold more often. That will be the only change, that basically in plenty of decks it will be included. Siggy, definitely agree with this card for 11 points of provision. That was too expensive, especially that it was only giving you this 4 points of power plus 9 coins. So as you can see, you can get 13 points for 11, so that was definitely an overspill. And then you need a setup, because I would say that you need also a card that will also trigger once again the profitability. So you need additionally 8 points of provision to trigger this profitability once again, then it will pay off. Otherwise it's even at 10 it's pretty expensive, but it can stay like this. Definitely it's much better. Philippa, this card was begging for above for many seasons. Finally we have this card at 10. I would say it's still not that good. Maybe it would need actually some increase in power. 10 it's okay, but definitely here there needs to be some kind of a change. Maybe 2 points, maybe 3, but it's still not like it's perfect. Savola, also completely forgotten card. Right now I think that at 8 points of provision it will be so much better, and I already created one deck with Savola. Okay, you may think that okay, this is 6 plus this 12, so it gives you altogether 18, but on the other hand you need to pay a tribute of 9, which is pretty expensive, and if you don't have King of Beggars, then basically you're getting nothing for this 8 points of provision. So I would say that regarding this card, you need a card at 13 points of provision to be to work. So definitely that was a very good change, and hopefully right now we'll see this card more often, but I don't know if it's still enough. Shaping Nature, I don't understand this change. I think this is too much. This card will be definitely in every single deck regarding Symbiosis, so I would say that 8 was perfect. 7 it's too much. This is completely an overspill. That card it's very, I would say, good, and at 7 points of provision this is absolutely crazy. Leto, a very good change with this 8 points of provision, that was definitely too much. Right now at 7, it's at perfect spot, so that's a good change. Then we have Whispers. I was also voting for this card. I don't remember was it this season or the last one, but definitely I wanted this change, and finally we got it, so I'm pretty happy about it. Anglerfish, also a great change. Finally we can include anglerfish in the decks with rain and also with beasts. So you have 4 points, but also pretty conditional, and then you need to pay 8 points of provision, which I would say it's pretty expensive, but on the other hand, that's the way it should be. So I think this is very good. Maybe in the future this card will need an additional buff with 3 points of power, and then it will be perfect. So that's all. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you for your time and support. Please like, subscribe, and comment, guys. See you in the next video. And the last announcement, guys, please go to nearest shelter and adopt a dog. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.